Everybody. It's uh, it's good to be back again, and I'm hoping to get you to focus in a functional kind of way. I want to start out by saying I know of no one out there who can say to me that the Weight Loss program doesn't work. For almost 25 years, we have been promising that you will lose 15 pounds every 30 days. We've changed it from every month, but the ballpark is 15 pounds, only fat, in 30 days in total health. Let's try to understand what that means, and let's try to understand in a very concrete way how the emotional issues that impact on people, and even more so today, impact not only on your weight loss, but your overall emotional well-being. I have been saying to you for some time that you cannot control your feelings, you cannot control your thoughts, but you can control the way in which you behave towards those thoughts and feelings. And I'm going to come back to that in a while. But first, I want to talk about the physical nature and what it's all about. Your body lives on, let's call it sugar and oxygen. Your body has many hormones in them, and those hormones control how things act and behave. Stress is a major factor in all of our lives, and your weight loss and its impact upon you is critical as well. Very simply, if you think about it and you look at your day, you will find that there are peaks and valleys in your energy, in your thoughts, and those peaks and valleys tend to change depending upon the circumstances. Now, a normal day has some stress in it. It's the kind of stress that produces in the body a hormone, and in some areas, some people call it the stress hormone, because it triggers different things within the body. Now, there are different aspects of stress, and that stress impacts on the amount of cortisol that your body produces. Cortisol facilitates the body's use of insulin and hormones that are attached to it. If you are effective in dealing with the stress in your body, and you deal with it in a way in which it spreads out, then if we try to lose weight by restricting calories, we will lose weight. But here is the key. Pretty much all typical diets are cannibalistic. And what I mean by that is diet, meaning the food intake, is restricted. And when the food diet is restricted, where is the body going to get its energy? The answer to that is from your body. It'll get energy from your muscles, from your fat, from your bones. And as the body, so to speak, eats itself up, you lose weight. The problem is, as the levels of cortisol rise, the body's ability to use insulin, which takes the energy into the cells, that ability of the body to use insulin begins to become disrupted. What happens then, you begin to need more insulin to do the job, and the more insulin that you need, the body becomes, so to speak, immune to it. And as that immunity increases, all kinds of physiological problems occur. I have been stressing the fact that we must communicate. Over these past several months, we have introduced buddy programs where people interact with each other. And in that process of interaction, the ability to do better seems to come naturally, as opposed to those who are trying to do the weight loss by themselves. Now, here's what you have to think about. No one is doing this program who is not overweight. And the reason they are overweight is because the power of food overcomes them, and they use the food to satisfy a comfort level that it brings with it. And the more the body is unable to use the insulin properly, and what's happening then is, instead of the food being used for energy, the food is being stored as fat. Weight loss does the opposite. Number one, we are restricting calories, but in a very scientific kind of way. Milk, fruits, and vegetables. Now think about this. The human body, for normal, healthy nutrition, needs fat, protein, amino acids, enzymes, and fructose. The food component of weight loss in the milk, fruits, and vegetables has exactly that. So your body is getting what it needs nutritionally, but because the acupressure massage prevents your brain from counting calories, your body does not go into starvation mode, and instead your body turns to your stored fat, converts some of your stored fat to glycogen, which is a sugar, and 24 hours a day you live off the sugar that comes from the fat in your body. Now, if you stop and think, you're getting everything that you need, but there is something else. Human beings do not do well in isolation. And if you look around, you will see that animals themselves live in herds, and together they develop their own communities. Many people, even though it's no secret that they're overweight, try to hide the fact that they are overweight, or even more specifically, hide the fact that they are creating a lifestyle where food is used by them for comfort. The key here is to understand that if we do not reflect on our feelings and emotions and how we deal with them, then we will never learn to maintain a weight which is comfortable for you. I would say at least 90% of the thousands of patients who have gone through weight loss had become addicted to food in the sense that they dealt with the emotional issues in their life by using food, because the food calmed them, comforted them, gave them taste, and so they used it rather than learn. I want you to begin to move away from that thinking and recognize something that's very simple. I don't know about you, but I know about me. Every morning, I get up and get out of bed. At some point very close to my getting out of bed, I'm in front of a mirror. And lo and behold, when I look into that mirror, there's an image of me there. And when I learned that that image was critical for my well-being, my life changed. And my life changed because that was the person, that image in the mirror, that I was spending more time with than any other human being. I was spending time with me. Through my schooling, I also learned that basic personality and character were formed by age 5. And there was a little boy inside me, and that little boy was my sole source of enjoyment, because adults have no ability to have fun. If you look around you, anyone and everyone who's having fun is not behaving as an adult. On some level or other, they are behaving like children. The second and most and important as well is the issue of control. All of us, when we have control, feel better, feel safer, and are more relaxed. And the biggest problem with weight gain is that we actually go out of control, in part servicing the needs of that child who lives within us. Now, when there is balance, life goes on very nicely. If you'll notice that when you are stressed, one of the things that most of us experience is that we don't sleep well, that we have symptoms, fogginess, laziness, assertiveness, a higher sense of awareness of things around us, and that when we are in control, life is much calmer. Now, here's what I want you then to understand. I'm going to give you an example of a woman who was a patient of mine many years ago when I was a practicing psychologist, who came to me because her parents were frightened that she was not going to live very much longer, because she had developed what's called anorexia. Now, it was very, very interesting in our work and our conversations together, because when I talked with her rationally about food, she was sensible, understood, interacted with me, but then I discovered that she had developed an image of herself, and that image of herself was thinner in her mind than the image that she saw in the mirror. And she felt that she didn't measure up because the image she had in her mind was not the image she saw in the mirror. And because of that, she was very self-conscious and thought always about how other people viewed her because of the fact that the image that she saw was the image she projected onto their thoughts, and therefore was restricting her food intake in order to get that reflected image to be the image she had in her mind. She did not want to hurt herself. But the image that she had, which was irrational and distorted, controlled her life. And so what we began to do is I would have her go to the mall, and I would ask her to view the people there, the passing by, and count how many people were overweight and how many of those overweight people seemed to be self-conscious. She reported back and said she didn't realize how many people were overweight, and she also reported back that she was unaware of the fact that she, compared to many of them, was not overweight or obese. She had a nice shape, but the image that she had, what I then asked her to do was to pick people in her age group at work, in the library, in the supermarket, and to try to impose her image of herself on them. And how did she feel about it? She had a very difficult time. And the reason she had a difficult time was because of the fact that almost every person she projected herself on was either much heavier than she or much thinner than she, and none of the two images made her feel good. Therefore, what I want you to begin to do is to focus on the emotional reality of the world in which you live. Every single morning, you get up with that human being who I'm talking to now? How do you feel about that person that you get up every morning and spend the rest of the day with? I would like you to be able to say, that person with whom I get up with in the morning is my best friend, and I like being with them. Now, if you like being with them, then let's talk about how and what you do to feel good. Everything that makes you up, everything that makes me up, is historically embedded in us, both genetically and reality-wise. A person who has a mother who constantly presses them on what they eat, when they eat, how they eat, should they eat, can they eat, is being driven by an energy outside themselves. We cannot minimize the power of a parent because they love us, they comfort us, and they do the best job that they can do based upon their own issues. Unless there is a real mental illness, parents love their children and want them in some way or other to feel good, to feel protected, to feel nurtured. But based upon their own fears, anxieties, concerns, they consciously and unconsciously teach us things that are very strange. Let me give you an example of a woman whom I grew up with starting in my 20s. I was about, I would say, 25 years old, 26 years old when I met her. We were social. We had good conversations. And she was constantly putting pressure on her husband. She became what some people call agoraphobia, a fear of going out. And she would do things constantly to get attention from her husband. She would call him several times a day. She told me she would not pick up the phone at times when he called to see how she was doing, because if she didn't pick up the phone, he would be concerned about what she was doing. And sometimes he even left work to come home because she didn't answer the phone. They had a son. The son escaped into his work, his schoolwork, and as soon as he could, he escaped to college. and came home very rarely. One day, the husband disappeared. He picked up and he left. He called her, said, "I'm not coming back." Called his son and said, "I'm sorry, but I cannot live this way any longer," and disappeared. Now, she had to take care of herself. She had to take care of her house. She had to take care of her son. Her husband wasn't there anymore to cater to her. Her husband was not there to pay attention to her. Her husband was not there to bear the brunt of her loneliness. Now, this is remarkable. She went out without this support that she was getting. She got a job, started interacting with people at work, and made a life for herself. She had chosen to do the survival mode thing that we had been talking about. Which brings us to where we are as far as weight loss is concerned. Over the years, I have pushed the Alcoholics Anonymous profile. And I have said to you time and time again that that program works. And one of the major reasons it works is because people are interacting with other people. Everybody in the meeting room is the same. They're all addicted to alcohol. And they talk about and support each other and go to meetings regularly. And it is the support and the meetings. For example, to start with, they say 90 meetings in 90 days. For 90 days, once a day at least, a person is going to an AA meeting, sitting and listening and talking, or listening and interacting, and they are reminded in this environment, everyone is alike, everyone is supported, and if you continue to do this, you will stop your active addiction. And as long as you continue to do this process, you will be safe. Over the past period of time, we've had a buddy system where we've connected people with other people. And lo and behold, the people who are interacting with other human beings in the same venue as they are interacting are losing weight, are being supportive of each other, are feeling better, and are gaining control of their lives. Part of the key is they are not responsible for each other. They're responsible for themselves. That doesn't mean they don't share thoughts and ideas with others, methodologies with each other, recipes with each other, events. But all of it clearly is based upon the fact that they want to achieve a body weight that they can be comfortable with, and feel safe. You have the opportunity to do that by availing yourself of the support systems that we have, by asking questions, and by recognizing that, one, you need comfort. We all do. How we achieve that comfort is not connected with my need for comfort. Number two, all of us are terrified of not being in control. And we've spoken about that. When you are in control, you feel more comfortable, you feel safer, you feel more energetic, you're expansive, you do things. When you're out of control, the fear rises and impacts on us in so many different ways. That's why, for example, I put you on to the non-nutritive lollipops. Because you have control. You have a stick, the stick of the lollipop in your hands. You can do with it whatever you like. And if you are sensitive enough, you've picked a lollipop with a flavor that appeals to you. And now you have that sense of, I need comfort. I want, I need, I want, I need. And you have a lollipop. You're in control. It's in your hand. You can do with it whatever you like. So take that lollipop and put it in your mouth. Take it out of your mouth now and notice you liked the taste. It felt good. And you liked the taste and felt good because you, in control, put the lollipop in your mouth. That process of putting it in your mouth, enjoying it, taking out, and you're fully aware of the fact that you are in control. Now, the child within you didn't choose that lollipop, but that child wants to be loved by you. And the reason is that child knows that it can't exist without you. But being a child, it has very little insight and understanding into life. But like you, it wants to be loved. Tell that child the lollipop is to help comfort it as well. And the two of you together, you and the child within you, are being supportive of each other. Remember something else as well. And this is something that took me a very long time to fully understand. The child wants. And when the child wants, it grows and it grows and it grows until its behavior gets you to compromise and break down or give in. but the child loves you. And if you are consistent, and every single time that you sense this craving, this wanting, this needing for comfort, you take a lollipop, a non-nutritive one, and you put it in your mouth. And now you take it out. And actually, you do it every day in different ways anyway. Say to the child within you, I know you want comfort. I like this lollipop. I bet you like this lollipop too. I know it's not what you want right now, but come on, join me. Enjoy the lollipop. It tasted good, didn't it? Oh, come on, you know it tasted good. Constantly giving yourself something. Constantly giving your child self something. Minutes pass. The thought to being comforted and you being comforted and the child being comforted begin to merge. 5, 6, 7 minutes have passed. The feeling has not gone away. Do a second lollipop. By the time you're finished, the urge will be gone. And you will have loved yourself so that when you get up in the morning, you can say to that self that you got up with, we had a good day, didn't we? We took care of ourselves. It felt good. And that then leads us into so many areas which makes our lives more fulfilling. I will continue to dwell on these topics, and it would be truly appreciated if you don't wish to actually speak with me, that you send me an email. DRS, Dr. S, at AccuWeight.com. Ask me any question that you like. Ask me to call you if you like. Ask me to interact with you. Next question. I've done AccuWeight successfully before and maintained the weight I lost. I never went all the way to my goal and am ready to lose the rest of my weight. I can't use dairy anymore. Are there any plant-based options? The key to the program is the statement that she made. I am ready. Help me do it. We have vegan and vegetarian options. It does not have to be milk. When you do it, the milk days are plant-based days. We tell you what and how to do it, and the promise is the same. 15 pounds minimum every 30 days within what makes you feel good. Next question. I do fine on milk days, but on veggie days I really want something with my salad. Would it hurt my weight loss to add some grilled shrimp or chicken to my salad? The answer is yes, it would hurt. This is not a calorie program. it's chemical. And I'm listening to this person's question. The person is already feeling, let's call it, deprived. Who are you doing this for? Hopefully, you're doing it for yourself. Why are you doing this? For reasons that will benefit me is the reason I'm doing it. But, and I love that word, but. The word but pushes away everything that went before it. I love you, but. If I love you, but, do I love you? Or do I only love you if? If you and I are in a love relationship, my job is to love you because you're you, and I should expect that you're going to love me because I'm me. Now, we're two very different people. We had different upbringings, and we're together now. Therefore, it becomes incumbent on us to talk through. Because most things do not truly make a difference. If you really want to change your life, then accept the fact that you're going to use alternatives to the fact that you're not going to have your shrimp, you're not going to have your salmon, with the understanding that when you achieve your goal, everything comes back. There will be no prohibited foods. You're going to learn how to eat, not what to eat. And what I don't want you to miss, and the gal Deborah who was on earlier today asking and saying hello, is a prime example. When she returned to the program, she never did, after she lost her weight, she never did the stabilization program. When she came back, she said to me, Dr. Schwartz, I want to lose the weight. I'm very serious about it. But I cannot tell you how happy I was with myself when I achieved that weight loss. And part of the reason that I'm back, help me get that feeling back. And the only way I know how to do it is to do the program seriously for myself. I've already lost 18 pounds in my first 3 weeks. I know weight loss slows after the first few weeks. What can I expect in the next month? I love the question. I love the outcomes of the first 3 weeks. None of you have ever heard me say anything else other than, if you do the program properly, every 30 days, every month, whatever word you want to use there, every month you will lose a minimum of 15 pounds only fat in total health. That person can expect they're scrupulous, if they do the program properly, if they massage their beads, if they drink their water, if they do the Qigong breathing, 15 pounds minimum. I thought we could use oil, but I saw olive oil in a recipe at the website. Is it allowed? 2 teaspoons of olive oil are permitted. The reason we said no oil is because people lose control. If you can hold to, that's not a problem. The truth is that only you can decide whether it's right for you. I read that it's really healthy to drink water with lemon in the morning. Is it okay to do so while on the program? The answer is absolutely yes. It's very interesting that lemon, although ascorbic acid, actually neutralizes acid when it goes into the body. But here is the problem. There's a difference between fresh lemon and the concentrate. Fresh lemon contains sugar. Therefore, if you're going to have lemon juice in the morning before 12 o'clock or after 6, use the concentrate. And if you're going to use a sweetener, use one that is more healthy than some of the others. I particularly have begun to use the stevia naturals, the Splenda naturals. It's a green, and I like it very much. Next question. I take super green powder supplement instead of regular vitamins. Should I switch vitamins? If I can use them, is it only on vegetable days? I have no problem with anyone who is using the unadulterated super green powders. 1 scoop in a glass of some non-calorie liquid in the morning, I think, is terrific. What people don't understand is that 85+% of fruits and vegetables tend to be water. Remove the water and you have powder. In the days gone by, these were vitamin enriched because the soil was there and it took up everything. This person should continue to use it 7 days a week, not just on fruit vegetable days. Last question. I really hate milk but don't mind yogurt. Can I skip milk and have all yogurt? The answer is no, and I'm uncertain as to why. I can tell you that up to half, 10 ounces, can be yogurt or all milk. Drink your milk with coffee, use artificial sweetener, do things to make it palatable, but only half yogurt. I want to thank you for being here.